91% of sales reps say they don't fully understand how their compensation is calculated. Let that sink in. Nearly every salesperson grinding toward quota has no clear picture of what they'll actually take home. And AI is about to flip that completely upside down. In the next 10 minutes, you're going to learn exactly how AI is reshaping sales productivity tools, why compensation transparency is suddenly the hottest topic in enterprise software, and which specific platforms are leading this shift right now. We'll break down the real tools, the real numbers, and the real workflows that are saving sales teams hours every single week. And at the end, I'll reveal the one trend hiding underneath all of this that most analysts are completely sleeping on, and it could change how you think about AI adoption in your own work. Let's get into it. So let's start with the productivity side, because the numbers here are genuinely jaw-dropping. Salesforce published research showing that sales reps spend only 28% of their week actually selling. The other 72%? Admin tasks, data entry, chasing approvals, writing follow-up emails. That's not a productivity problem, that's a structural collapse. And AI tools are attacking it from every angle right now. Take Gong, for example. Gong uses AI to automatically transcribe and analyze every single sales call. It flags competitor mentions, detects deal risk, and surfaces coaching moments, all without the rep lifting a finger. Companies using Gong have reported up to 20% improvement in win rates. That's not a rounding error. That's the difference between hitting quota and blowing past it. Then there's SalesLoft, which uses AI to sequence outreach across email, phone, and LinkedIn simultaneously. Instead of a rep manually deciding, okay, I'll call Tuesday, email Thursday, the AI builds the cadence dynamically based on what's actually working across thousands of other interactions. Real-time optimization. It learns as it goes. But here's where it gets interesting, because individual tools are only part of the story. The bigger shift is what happens when these AI productivity tools get connected to compensation data. And this is where the conversation in enterprise tech is getting genuinely heated. The sales compensation management software market was valued at around $1.5 billion in 2022 and is projected to nearly double by 2027, according to market research from Markets and Markets. Why? Because companies finally realize that opaque compensation plans are destroying motivation and driving turnover. Here's a real-world example. SAP Commissions, formerly Calidus Cloud, is one of the legacy players in this space. It handles complex, multi-tier commission structures for enterprise sales teams. But legacy platforms like this were built before AI existed. They can calculate comp, yes. But they can't explain it in plain English. They can't predict it. And they definitely can't answer a rep's question at 11 p.m. on a Sunday, if I close this deal tomorrow, what does my paycheck look like? That's exactly what newer platforms like Spiff and Everstage are being built to do. Spiff, which Salesforce actually acquired in early 2024, integrates directly into the CRM and gives reps a live, real-time view of their projected earnings. Not an estimate. Not a check with your manager. A live number that updates every time a deal moves in the pipeline. Everstage takes it a step further with an AI copilot that lets reps literally ask questions like, which deal should I prioritize to maximize my commission this quarter? And the AI answers. With specifics. Based on their actual comp plan. Think about what that does to motivation. Instead of reps guessing, they're optimizing. Instead of sandbagging deals to the next quarter, they're closing smarter. The transparency isn't just fair, it's a performance multiplier. Quick note, if you're finding this useful, subscribing takes literally 2 seconds and it genuinely helps me keep making content like this. Hit that button now, and let's keep going. Now let's talk about transparency, because this isn't just a nice to have anymore. In several U.S. states, Colorado, California, New York, Washington, pay transparency laws are either already in effect or actively expanding. Employers are legally required to disclose salary ranges. And the ripple effect into variable compensation, bonuses, commissions, incentives is just starting. Here's a pattern interrupt for you. Did you know that the average sales comp plan has 2.3 errors per rep per month? That's according to research from the Zackley Corporation, which has been tracking this data for years. 2.3 errors. Every single month. At scale, across a sales team of 200 people, that's 460 mistakes hitting paychecks. No wonder reps spend hours every month shadow accounting, building their own spreadsheets to double-check their employer's math. AI doesn't just reduce those errors. It eliminates the conditions that create them. When your comp engine is connected to your CRM, there's no manual data transfer. No copy-paste. No, the system didn't sync. The deal closes, the data flows, the commission calculates automatically and auditably. Xactly's own Incan platform has been moving in this direction, adding predictive analytics that help sales ops leaders model the impact of different comp plan designs before they roll them out. You can literally simulate, if we change the accelerator threshold from 100% quota to 90%, how does that change total payout and projected revenue? That used to take a financial analyst 2 weeks. Now it takes about 4 minutes. But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is where we're heading toward that reveal I teased at the start. The AI tools are clearly useful. The compensation transparency push is clearly happening. But there's a third current running underneath all of this that almost nobody is talking about directly. Here's the thing. Every single one of these platforms, Gong, Salesloft, Spiff, Everstage, Xactly, is generating enormous amounts of behavioral data about salespeople. Not just, did they hit quota? But how they talk to prospects. Which objections trip them up. How they respond to pressure near the end of the quarter. What their communication patterns look like when they're about to miss. And AI is learning from all of it. The reveal is this: AI compensation and productivity tools are quietly becoming performance intelligence systems. They're not just measuring output anymore. They're beginning to model the inputs, the behaviors, the patterns, the habits that predict output. And some platforms are starting to close the loop by using that intelligence to dynamically adjust coaching, territory assignment, even quota setting. Gong has a product called Gong Forecast that doesn't just predict revenue, it flags which specific deals are at risk based on behavioral signals in the conversation data. Managers aren't reading call notes anymore. The AI reads them and escalates the ones that need human attention. The implication is huge. Companies that deploy these tools strategically aren't just getting more efficient, they're building a compounding advantage. Every deal, every call, every commission calculation makes the model smarter. And the gap between companies using this intelligently and companies still running comp on Excel is going to widen very, very fast. That's the trend hiding in plain sight. Alright, let's wrap this up with what you can actually do right now. First, if you're in sales or you manage a sales team, audit your current comp visibility. Can your reps see their projected earnings in real time? If not, look at Spiff or Everstage. Both have free trials. One conversation with their team will show you the gap you didn't know you had. Second, if you're in sales ops or revenue ops, run a comp error audit for last quarter. Pull 3 random reps, reconcile their commission statements manually. If you find errors, and statistically you will, that's your business case for an AI-driven comp platform. Third, if you're using a CRM like Salesforce or HubSpot, check which AI productivity features you're already paying for and not using. Salesforce Einstein, for example, is included in several paid tiers and barely 30% of users have it activated. Free performance boost, sitting right there. Fourth, bookmark Gong and Salesloft for your next call review process. Most teams are still doing manual call reviews once a month. AI can do it continuously. That's not a small upgrade, it's a fundamentally different coaching model. Fifth, follow the pay transparency legislation in your state. This is moving fast. Colorado, California, New York, Washington are already live. More states are following. Getting ahead of it now means you're not scrambling when the compliance deadline hits. If this video saved you time or gave you something genuinely useful, subscribe. I post every single week, and the next video is going deep on AI-powered CRM automation, which tools are actually worth the money and which ones are just expensive hype. One question for you in the comments: does your sales team currently have real-time comp visibility, or are your reps still shadow accounting in spreadsheets? I read every comment, let me know where you're at.